Welcome back to another edition of Joy for Midlife Women. This program is dedicated to women age 50 and over. If you're new to this program, I welcome you. I'm Cheryl Jones, your host, and we hope that you will find some joy for your journey. Now, my guest today is a woman of many talents and skills. She's a friend and a business associate. Her name is Elina Martinez, and I'm so happy to have Elina here because this is a celebratory time for her as she has recently released her first book, and it's called One Corner at a Time. So, welcome, Elina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So happy you're here. This looks awesome.
Thank you.
Very, very awesome. I've browsed through it, haven't had a chance to read it all, but the few lines that I have, it's just been making me want to just jump right into it. So we're going to talk and share. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Thank you, first of all, for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm grateful, and I am very excited about this book. The beginning of this started as my idea was to create an ebook for my cleaning clients. The big thing was, can you help me, ma'am? Can you help me, miss? I need help with decluttering and organizing as well.
Okay.
So that's where it started, and I've always had a love of creating, putting things together, seeing it come to life. And so I decided to use my imagination and create this book that started as a 7-book ebook, 7-page ebook, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And quick, maybe halfway through I realized, wow, this is really about me, my journey, how I decluttered my mind, myself. But this is one corner at a time, so it's for my, for the readers who are looking to take it step by step and declutter.
That's wonderful, because the title here says Discover Peace and Serenity by Decluttering and Organizing Your Personal Space. That could be physical and mental space.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
That's what I've gotten from this? Great. So how do you combine the focus of like physical, organizing, and it looks like it's journaling space in this book, and the mindfulness part of this? How do you combine that into a book?
Well, really it stems from my experience. Okay. It started with, again, just trying to get everything on my head and put it on paper, basically. But I know for my journey, I had to combine both the journaling and the mindfulness.
Okay.
I've been journaling since my very first journal. It's this small, this little book, about 200 pages, and was my diary. Back then we called it diary.
Okay.
And I just started creating and writing, and it was back in 1989.
Okay.
I don't want to update myself.
A little back there.
A little bit back there, just a little bit.
Okay.
But I've always had a love of taking something out my brain, my head, and put it on paper, and then just see what comes out from there. And so for me, it was important to combine both. You really can't do one without the other.
Okay.
If you really want to accomplish your task, right? Write it out. Say what your intentions are. Write out your intentions. Make it a task. Hold yourself accountable. But then also have the guide, the steps to take you through it.
Okay. So, and yes, I understand what you're saying, because I'm looking at and hearing you talk about journaling with this book, and that can somewhat be like you looked at your past or where you've been, and then looking where you want to go. Is that correct?
That is correct, Cheryl.
Okay. And so talk a little bit more about One Corner at a Time. How many chapters and how do we get into this book to make it most useful to ourselves?
Sure, absolutely. It's best to use it as a companion for your task, okay? And this book really lays it out, and it was very intentional. The size of the book, the content of the book. It's about decluttering, so I don't want to make it overwhelming for folks.
That's right. Very good.
No, it's not a 300-page, and so it's about just over 103 pages about. But every page has its own design.
Okay.
right? My goal is to make folks feel very comfortable, very relaxed. I want them to know they can do this.
Okay.
So let's just break it down, right? You don't have to read through all the chapters. Just take it one step at a time and really put yourself out there. Write out, how do you want your space to look?
Okay.
Have that vision. And it may be something as simple as a drawer. You don't have to do the whole drawer. Right? All the drawers. You don't need to. You don't have to do the whole closet. For me, I tell my clients all the time, start from the top shelf of the closet, and go down and just come back to it. And if you feel overwhelmed, walk away.
That's a very good tip.
Yes, thank you.
Because that can be very overwhelming for someone. You look at your
Sure.
closet, I really want this to look far different, better organized, but I can't do it all.
Right.
I don't think I can do it all. So, okay, I like that tip. Just start one little bit at a time. Is there any chapter or spot in your book that you want to highlight or spotlight that for someone that's going to pick it up and get going?
Sure.
One corner at a time?
One corner at a time. For me, the highlight, the spotlight, I would like to let the readers know is really chapter 5.
Okay.
So chapter 5 is about the emotional side, the flip side of doing the decluttering of the organizing. So chapter 5 breaks it down and lets the readers know that, yes, you will be overwhelmed, maybe not every time, but you may have a sense of, procrastination or overwhelm, or I don't know where to start. And for me personally, I've been there, done that. This is all from experience. I've opened up my closet door and I'm just staring at it from head to toe, having no idea where to start, what to do, but knowing that I want to do it.
Okay.
I just didn't know how. So then I made the connection. There was the emotional side to it. That can be very difficult for folks, especially when you have lost a loved one, if maybe someone is no longer in the house, if there's some kind of separation. And sometimes it's just about yourself.
Okay.
You have things in there that's been there for many, many years, and you just don't know how to give it up and let it go.
How to address it, yes.
Correct.
So I'm looking at page 50 and it says, releasing what no longer serves me clears away my mental clutter and emotional baggage. I like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I like that. And sometimes when we're talking about organizing or we're thinking about organizing, we don't connect the emotional.
Sure.
And this is a nice passage right here to have out. You know what I like about the book too, is that I see that you have it as an affirmation. So I could just leave this out on my table, on my dresser or somewhere, and just read that. That would help me get moving, I think.
Absolutely.
That reminder, that affirmation, because that's a big thing
Absolutely.
today, right?
Absolutely.
How clever of you to do that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what else that will help us in the book without having to read the whole thing?
Sure.
Give us some spotlights on that.
So at the end of every chapter, you have a little section, left side and right side of the pages of the book. You can write out your goals.
Okay.
Okay, you can not only write them out, they do not have to be detailed. Just jot it down. Even if it's one, it's all right. You don't have to write a list of 10 items. This is about getting folks in that mindset, getting them to understand that you can do this.
Okay.
And you don't have to, maybe spend 2 hours, okay? You can time block, okay? You can do 15 minutes. If after 15 minutes you feel as though, I can do more, then go ahead, do more. But if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, step away. Just
Step
get away.
Right.
Get away from the clutter. Very
good. Okay. And so this is your first book. This was a big undertaking, it looks like to me. How did you even get started? I know you said why you wanted to start, but where did you start at with this?
So it actually started about 4 years ago.
Okay, all right.
I wanted to write a book about myself, but then at the time I said, well, okay, maybe it won't be a book, but I love writing and I love journaling. I like taking things out my head and just let me see it on paper.
Okay.
And I started doing that. And as time went by, I realized, wow, I was doing some deep diving there.
Okay.
So then I stepped away. I wanted to get back to it, but then I stepped away. And some years later, now, I said, I want to do this for my clients originally. And then that's when I realized, wow, this is really me.
Okay.
I want folks to start knowing about me through this, but also for them to declutter and journal at the same time.
At the same time.
You'll be surprised.
That's wonderful. I pick up on a word on here on page 61, and it says joyful decor. That speaks to my that speaks to me heavily, because it's not about, is it beautiful to someone else? Does it give me joy? Does it make me feel good?
Absolutely.
Right? I like that you have that there, making your space vibrant and uniquely yours. And I understand that ties in with the emotional as
Correct.
well.
Right. And also the thing is, when you have your own space, it's very important to make it your own.
Okay.
Right? You live there, you go home every day. You want that space to call out to you and say, this is mine. I feel great. I feel amazing. And to know that you did the work to get it there. Celebrate that.
Okay.
Celebrate yourself.
And so if it's a shared space, though?
And if it's a shared space, it's okay. You still have one corner. You have something that's truly just yours.
Right. Right. Very good. Okay. So I realize that we have some other graphics behind us, around us here, and you brought that with you today too. Talk to us about what that is.
Sure, absolutely. So the profile, it was very important. This was done for Cherie Sutton.
Okay.
And for her She Is Me, He Is Me project.
Okay.
And it was unveiled a couple weeks ago. And I just got so much joy creating that. The other one with the dreads, there are words there to really represent that picture, what that, it calls out to certain folks.
Okay.
And for me, again, this was something very important to just design for exactly how folks want to see their vision, what vision they have.
Okay.
So that's how those two came to life.
It's very strong presentation, because the words that I see on there: majestic, courageous, authentic, confident, proud, resilient. Those are really inspirational, and to have that on your wall and to see that he is me. You said you also do a she is.
Correct.
She is me?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So that's another talent that you have, besides designing the book, designing wonderful inspirational pieces. Very nice.
I get a lot of joy from doing that.
And so if someone is interested in purchasing a book or a graphic piece that you've created, how would they go about that?
They can email me at ladyphoenixdesigns@gmail.com.
Okay. Very nice. And then we know that your book is up on Amazon.
Yes, it is live.
It is live, one corner at a time. Ladies, if you're interested for yourself or for a gift, we're talking gifts at this time of the year, might be an interesting organizational book, but also journaling book. So let's go back to the book a little bit.
Okay.
How would one best utilize this book? More for organizing, or to start out first with journaling? How is this best utilized?
It is best used up to the individual's needs.
Okay.
Really. So if I am picking up a book for the first time and it has those sections, the guide and the journaling, I may want to read the steps first and then journal.
Okay.
Or I may just say, oh, I like this. I skimmed through the book. Let me just write a few things. Let me journal that will maybe provoke me to read more and start getting the work done.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's up to the individual how they see fit.
Okay. I get that. You don't have to read cover to cover and then get started, but you
Sure.
could just
Right.
kind of read the sections ahead and then move on. I noticed you have on here too, when you're envisioning the space of what you want it to look like, you have a spot that says what I'm grateful for.
Correct.
Just a constant, subtle mindfulness throughout the book, which is very inspirational and helps you. And then along there, you have decluttering at the same time.
Right.
Right? So maybe I'm grateful for this, and here's how I make my space even better. Right?
Absolutely.
I'm learning. I'm getting it.
You got it,
I'm getting it. I really am. What else can you tell us about the book?
Well, what I can say is one of the things that when folks are decluttering and they really don't have a guide, or they think maybe I should just get through the task as fast as possible, you end up sometimes spending 4 or 5 hours or 8 hours. And then you realize, oh, geez, this was my only day off. Now I have to go right back to work. I don't have a chance to relax. So,
Right.
So
Okay.
what I say is break things down in usually 4 piles. Okay, you have your keep, you have your, right, you want to make sure that doesn't piles up to that pile.
Right.
But you also have the throw away, like trash it out. Okay, you also have donation. It's important. Even if you don't think, oh, I don't think I have anything to donate, still make that pile. You'll be surprised. Okay, then you can also make another pile to sell. You may want to sell your items. You don't have to. You may want to. So it's really about just kind of start making those piles, those buckets. Okay, so to have something structured for you to get started.
That's another great tip. Another great tip. So if you made this opportunity your first writing opportunity, I'm so proud of you, so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
If a woman wants to, and she's had this in the back of her mind, because we're always talking about find your joy, try something new, how would they get started with writing a book if they wanted to? How could you help them that way?
Sure, absolutely. So writing a book, for me, writing a book is really just journaling.
Okay.
That's
All
how
right.
I see
Interesting.
it. Because I feel like sometimes there's too much pressure. Oh, I have to write a book, I have to. Just think of it as journaling. Do what you can. Commit some time to it as well. And when inspiration strikes, whether you text yourself, whether you have a notepad, whatever it may be, but just write it down. Get it out your head and write it. Then if you practice journaling every day, you will be surprised what starts coming out your brain.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of staying consistent. Yeah, that's what I recommend. And honestly, do not worry about how maybe my content or the design, those things do not matter. What matters is you get your content out, and then you do the revision, you do the work, but it's just a matter of getting started. There's no right time, honestly. Be in the here and now and get started.
And get
honestly.
started.
That's
Get
it.
started. And I like that it ties back to journaling is a great place to start as well. Great, that's wonderful. And then again, you said that this is available on Amazon, One Corner at a Time by Elina Martinez. And then also we have up on the screen other information that would help you to get in touch with Elina if you want to conversate more. So I know that you are a woman of a lot of different skills, like I said, and creativity. What is something else that we should know about you
Well,
that we haven't already heard?
Okay. Well, this book this was originally for my cleaning clients, so it's my other business known as Quality Cleaning. I do residential and commercial.
All right, busy woman.
And the interesting fact about me, about the cleaning, is I actually enjoy it.
Okay.
So most people, they do it, it's a daunting task, and it's actually very therapeutic for me as well. So that's, everyone has their own thing that but this is one of them for me.
One of those. That's good. I've heard of lots of people that they just like to get busy, get their hands going, and organize and clean.
And the other interesting fact about me is I have a twin brother. So I am a twin.
Okay.
I have twin boys. Their birthday's coming up, December 8th, like we spoke about.
Oh.
Wonderful, wonderful kids I have. I have 4 kids in total.
You don't look like it. Okay.
And with many, many grandchildren.
Wow.
I have a lot. And
Wonderful.
Yes, my twin brother also has twins himself, a boy and a girl.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I have twin cousins, and so yes.
Oh, definitely runs in the family.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So is your brother right? Is there any similarities between the two of you as twins?
There is.
Did you find that?
There is a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. Which is great.
Yes,
but
yes.
a lot of similarities.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. So is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that I didn't ask you?
So on the back, can I show the viewers?
Yes.
On the back of this, the very end of this chapter, there is you will see the note sections and the journal section. Okay, so this section, there are 4 for anyone to, whether you want to answer or not, but it's just a way to get it started.
Okay.
Okay. And then on this journal section, well, again, I'm very big on journaling.
Okay.
And I think this is very important. There's only 10 sections of this, 10 pages of these.
Okay.
And I did not want it to be overwhelming or too much. This is not an actual journaling book. However, it's just to get folks started.
Yes.
To get in the habit and take it from there. They can do the rest themselves, but just to get started.
Wonderful. So it's a 2-in-1. That's what it is. So I'm so thankful for you coming on. I'm very happy to be a part of your new journey of writing books.
Thank you.
At this time, we celebrate you. And ladies, this concludes my program for today. If you have a moment and you wish to share your feedback on this program, we'd love to hear from you, and you could email me at joyeditor19@gmail.com. Also interested to know if you have a woman, a friend, or a topic that you'd like to have on the program. I'd love to know about it. So that's it. If you'd like more Joy, remind you that the Joy magazine is available for a small subscription fee, and it's available online now as well as print. You visit my website, thejoymagazine.com, if you'd like to place an order. And until then, till next month, stay joyful.